National Democratic Congress has confirmed it will contest the Akwatia by-election slated for September 2, 2025 in the Eastern region. In a statement, Deputy National Communications Officer for the NDC, Gordon Akugan, criticized the New Patriotic Party for opting out of the Tamale Central by-election, calling it a strategic move to avoid defeat and gain sympathy ahead of the Akwatia by-election. Akugan noted that political parties occasionally skip by-elections, referencing the NDC's decision not to contest the Jeso by-election after the demise of the Member of Parliament John Kuma. He also highlighted that the Akwatia seat was embroiled in a court case before the death of its Member of Parliament NSG Akumi, and warned against taking the MPP's public statements at face value, citing their reversal during the Ablikman North rerun in that 19 polling station. Listen to the Deputy Communications Officer for the NDC, Gordon Akugan, who first confirmed this to us yesterday on 505.
Akwatia was not an MPP seat. It is a seat that we were in court over, and in fact, Kumi had to go and get himself sworn in with all the risk, and the net effect was he was sent to court. There was this issuance, and then he went back to overturn it, and the case is still in court. After the time he passed on, so it is a seat that, per our laws, is not an MPP seat, and that is why he got himself sworn in. You understand? And we could have also done that. The issue is in court. So you can't say that it was an MPP seat. They railroaded the system, got themselves, and that was why there was a contempt on him. It got them hiding and all those things before later, per whatever reason, it was overturned. And even when it was overturned, the case was still in court. So a constituency that didn't have a settled result. So that is why we are going in contest. And you see, what has even held us on is that because of the Wednesday's issue, the unfortunate situation to us. If not, this weekend we would have adored our candidate for.
So that's the Deputy National Communications Officer for the National Democratic Congress, Gordon Akugan, yesterday speaking to us on 505. Well, let me go on the phone line and speak to Mahdi Jibril, who is the Deputy Director of Elections for the NDC. Mahdi, good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time on 505.
You're welcome.
Great. So you have confirmed that the party will go ahead and contest the Akwatia by-election despite the grief. Well, the MPP yesterday brought a statement. I'm sure that the party also saw that they are withdrawing from the Tamale Central constituency due to the demise of the Honorable Mutala, and so they are calling on you to also withdraw from the Akwatia by-election. What do you make of that?
It will be unfortunate if any political officer can make this statement anywhere. It's unfortunate. You see, Ghana doesn't belong to NDC and MPP. For us to say because there's an issue, NDC should say he's not contesting here, or NDC says he's not contesting this constituency. Because history has shown in Kumbungu, when MPP didn't contest, PSD contested and won the seat. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, in the Ejisu, NDC didn't contest. An independent candidate gave MPP to run for their money. Because he took the whole presidency to go and campaign against the independent candidate in Ejisu by-election. So this issue of NDC, they say they are not contested. So NDC also shouldn't contest. It's unfortunate. But their statement is not born on any principle. It's just a cheap political games that they are playing. Because this is the same political party, just some 3 weeks ago, they are members of parliament who today their leader of minority is the leader of the party, walked out from parliament for a simple reason, because the majority leader as requested to know when the date for Akwatia will be announced. He said, no, why will the minority say this? Because the minority is insensitive to the family of NS Kumi, because the family have not announced the date to Parliament yet. Why are we rushing? So they walked out from Parliament. They didn't participate in the parliamentary process. Then the same parliamentarian added to the sphere committee to go and meet and say, even though the family of Muntala have not come to Parliament, that you make a statement and say we are not contesting the same election that you work out when somebody talk about election on the day. It's a double standard.
So
again, you mentioned that the reason why you are not going to contest at Tamale Central because you want to avoid the issues that comes with by-elections because of violence issues.
Yeah.
So will you contest Akwatia? Okay. So you will contest Akwatia. So if you contest Akwatia, what's your principle in saying that I'm going to this advocate talent because they don't want to participate in?
Because they argue that the Akwatia is their seat. It was occupied by their member of parliament, and that of the Tamale Central is the opposite direction. So
when in the constitution in Ghana that they say that it's for them.
Well, it was occupied by a New Patriotic Party MP until that demise.
They had a brief. We took the brief from them. The people of Ghana who feel that they are not leading the world voted against them. So MPP is saying that we should impose candidates to the people against their will to them, because MPP want to have numbers in Parliament to control misbehaving.
There's another call by their former member of parliament. I'm talking about Dr. Adumaku Kisi, who has called for an enactment of a law that would allow political party to retain parliamentary seat for a full 4-year term when vacancies arise, just like that of the by-election that we are to embark on. So we should scrap by-elections. If an MPP member of parliament dies, the party should hold on to the 4-year term, ends. If an NDC member of parliament is occupying that seat and unfortunately he is no more, the NDC should occupy that seat until the 4-year term ends.
Then you get a president like Nanado again in the future, who has swear heaven and earth that if a member of parliament of a constituency is not from his party, he will need development there. So what will you do for the constituency? Will you deprive them from development? Because you have kind of Nanado type of presidents in government.
So you disagree with that call from the member of parliament?
Let's get to that point about today. We are talking about what the constitution and the law says.
So what's the final take on the Akwatia by-election? Currently on the ticket of the on the part of the NDC, how's the preparation going?
We are still in the elections. As sad as it is that I would have wished by now the program that we set between myself and my boss on Akwatia, we have started implementing it. Because tomorrow will be exactly 1 week.
Yeah.
When he directed that I should move to Akwatia, where he will follow up by Sunday, so as we can just start doing some engagements. So, but then we are already working. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow is the filing day. And I'm aware that we have filed our nomination. We submitted in the morning. He presented the document back to Electoral Commission here for them to do the checks. They've satisfied our document that it's correct. So we are adding the letter from the donation. So Akwatia, we are continuing the process. We are continuing the process.
Right.
But you see, the people who are talking about this moral issue of if a candidate you lose a candidate, like the MPP is saying, we should use the same candidate from the party. Are you aware that the MPP candidate who passed is coming from one area in the electoral area. They requested them to give them a candidate from that electoral area. They denied them. The MPP themselves. They were looking for a candidate from their own. The MPP said, no, we don't need, we need somebody who has money. So we are going for another area. I see. Even the MPP themselves, within their own party, they didn't feel for their own in the area. So,
okay,
we'll participate in the Akwatia by elections, and the best tribute for the 8th is to go into this election with violence free.
Okay.
It's also to get a candidate who will emerge winner, who believes in the reset agenda, who believes in the big push, and who believes in the policies of John Dramani Mahama. And that is what these 8, especially the 5, were fighting for, because they never believed that the opponent have anything good for this country. And that is what they are showing today. The people who walk out from parliament that somebody is insensitive. 3 days, a day just after the day that they bury him, you issue a statement that you have involved doing political things involving your party people. So you have come to conclusion and then you are issuing a statement.
I see. Well, Madi,
but the question we are asking, will MPP have contested? We also say that they are not contested if it has happened in, say, in any constituency in Ashanti region. Would they have said so?
Well,
when you talk about it, they will say, oh, the nature of this, that is why they are coming out from the election. But Kwame, the MP, sitting MP for Mfantiman, which is Nketia, was shot after he filed his nomination on October 8th. On the 9th, he was shot down. The MPP, who had said it, he went and told, stop crying. We are not about culture here. Go and pick nomination and file for her because it's power that we want. And these are people who are calling for morality.
Right. Madi, let me thank you. And I wish the party all the best ahead of the Akwatia by-election. Thank you so much. So that's Madi Jibril, who is the Deputy Director of Elections for the NDC. Let me still stay on the line and speak to Dr. Jonathan Asantochiri, who is a senior lecturer at the University of Cape Coast and also a political analyst. Doc, thank you. Sorry, I've lost Dr. Jonathan Asantochiri on the line. Doc, I've lost Doc. Do I have Doc on the line? Doc, thank you so much for your time. Great. So this is what the former member of parliament for Anyaso Tiom, Dr. Adomaku Kisi, is talking about. He is of the view that there should be a legislation to scrap by-election. He's citing security concerns. What do you make of this call? Because in most of the cases, in fact, all our by-election have been marred by insecurity, chaos, and all that. What's your take on that?
I think that Dr. Adomaku, somebody I really admire, but I think it is a bad call. Not because by-elections have been associated with violence here and there. You see, when you have general elections, I agree with him that by-elections have been marked by violence. It is because most often than not, there is high concentration, there's a high focus on the part of whichever party that is in government or whichever party that has lost its member, right, and we want to replace. So the dynamics are different on each of these by-elections that have happened. Take, for example, Ayawaso West Wagon. MPP is in power. That particular place has been for the MPP for some time. Now, the MPP then, Ghanaians were complaining about the MPP and their performance then. So they cannot sit idle for the NDC then to win. Once they win, it serves as a demoralizing source of, it serves as a demotivating factor for the party that is in government. That is one. So, what about Kumewu? Was there any violence at Kumewu? There was no violence at Kumewu.
Yeah.
Both NDC and MPP, the MPP knew they were going to win. NDC knew they can't win. But what they wanted to do was ensure that they show up their votes. You see, and we need to bear in mind something. When somebody is voted for by some constituent in a particular constituency, the person does not go to represent only the party that voted for him or her. Once you are voted for, you are representing the entire constituent, not MPP, not NDC. So, if I did not express my democratic right as to who leads me in a particular constituency, it doesn't matter whether it is through by-election or mainstream election. Then what happens to my universal adult suffrage right? So, in as much as we may want to cure a certain mischief because of the violence that is associated with by-election, it does not in any way cure the mischief of the fact that I must decide who becomes my MP. And as I said earlier on, once you have become the MP, there are people who voted against you. Yeah. You can't say you are not representing them. You are representing them as well. So the opportunity to choose and decide who becomes my member of parliament should be divorced from the fact that by-elections have necessitated with what? Violence.
Yeah.
It's a consequence that we must deal with. It's a consequence that we must deal with. But we cannot deny the democratic right of the constituent of that place.
Okay, so in a constituency being classified as a flashpoint, there the conversation about whether or not to scrap the by-election comes in, because one, let's say we're looking at Iowa's West Wagon or maybe Ewutu Senya East, where we know that even in the general election there are a series of clashes or chaos. How do we deal with some of these constituencies classified as flashpoint? Should there be a caveat, or should we consider the call by Dr. Adomakwekisi on that level, because we know that at all costs there's going to be chaos there?
It is all about security and a security architecture. We need to have, you see, I have proposed a certain section of the police who are supposed to be trained for electoral purposes. So we need electoral policing officers. That is one.
Okay.
Two, the security men or women shouldn't go out there with the view that they are supporting this or that. You need to show professionalism. You see, when the by-election happened at Asiedu North, you saw that the police were not on the side of government. Neither were they on the side of the opposition. They were simply on the side of the state. And that is exactly what they did. And at the end of the day, it was the decision of the people that gave the mandate back to Jeti Kwesi. So it's not as if we cannot do it. We can really do it. Look, the Ghana police, if somebody commits a crime and they say they will arrest you, wherever you are, they will arrest you.
Yeah.
They have the capacity that you cannot underestimate them. But it has always been the case of political maneuvering and manipulation. That is why some of us feel that we've come a long way to insulate the IGP from, the appointing authority in terms of the presidency or whatever. it should be some kind of board system that is independent. But of course, you see, in a democracy, no unit can say they are entirely independent. Because if the executive is dependent upon our mandate, then definitely somebody must equally be dependent upon the mandate of another. So if you are a tax servicing agency like the police, it means that you take your authority from the people who pay your taxes. So you must serve the people. That is the most important thing you must do. But you see, if we use this, what is it called? 7th century practice of transferring people when their behavior lies in the face of political authority and other things, these things do not in any way create an atmosphere of political group. It means that they will look on when the unthinkable is happening. That is what happened. And today it may favor you, tomorrow it will be against you. And this toxic cabinet is something that we need to cure. It's something that we must nip in the bud. I believe that Akwatia, well, if the NDC should lose, they lose nothing. If the MPP loses, they lose a lot.
Yeah.
It will what? Serve as a demotivating, factor that in itself could create a situation where they will not be able to come back. Do you get it? They will not be able to come back. Then, if you look at the scenario, for example, okay, maybe we've not got into that question, so you can go ahead with your next question.
I see. So we have two key by-elections ahead of us. One, the Akwatia, which is September 2. The Tamale Central, the MPP have withdrawn from that contest. So we know that the only heated by-election we're yet to hold is that of the Akwatia. There, the conversation about electoral policing you are calling for comes in. Should we use the Akwatia by-election as a test case to look at a reform or reforms to really define or refine our by-elections in the country?
Come again.
So I'm asking that now we have one key by-election, which is Akwatia one, because the Tamale Central, the MPP have withdrawn from that contest. Then the conversation about your call, which is the electoral policing, taking charge of the elections, whether main election or by-election also come in. Should we use should Akwatia by-election be an example to test whether we need electoral reforms or not in our by-elections?
Well, I can assure you that nothing will happen at Akwatia. You know what? NDC will only want to see if they can. You see that the MPP has two main strongholds in this country: Ashanti region and Eastern region.
Yeah.
Akwatia is in the Eastern region. So the NDC has nothing to lose if they should lose. But what they will want to test, which is a matter of data, is to find out whether the policies that they have sent out, the policy of ensuring that the city has appreciated against the dollar, the policy of ensuring that you have transfer fares that have come up, the policy of ensuring that you have, fuel prices going down, and so on and so forth. Now, AGI says that, well, all other things being equal, if commercial banks to reduce, their lending rate or interest, definitely they will reduce their prices. I mean, these are human, rational beings, and seeing this positive impact, of the current government, most definitely they may take a decision that will not to the benefit of that particular party. After all, they saw the other party in government. This is a matter of rational human beings. Don't forget that the Global Info Analytics came out with the data on Akwatia, suggesting that the MPP candidate was likely to win. I have my little doubt about that. And
well, he's leading with 49%.
Yes, 49%. My doubt is, I think we had a discussion on this before. Yeah, I've explained my doubt. All these policies I've had